Sports games. Sports
ball.
So, welcome to another Lauren and Tom Top 5 list. Today we're here to talk about sports. And talking about sports, I only got one honorable mention. And I love sports games.
Yeah, me too.
So I thought that was kind of really weird.
I mean, weird for you.
Yeah. Well, it is really weird because I played so many sports games my whole life with so many friends.
Yeah, we're back on track. The soundtrack episode is over. We're back to one honorable mention. It's a normal day, guys.
It's a normal day. Like, it feels like I'm putting on a familiar pair of shoes.
You know what else, though? You know what's not normal, though? I put my beer way too far. I can't reach my beer. Hang on.
Oh. You know what? I might just have to...
What do you have in there, Tom?
I'm having Mount Crushmore Pilsner No. 2.
From Banded Peak.
From Banded Peak. How about yourself?
I'm having a collaboration between Polyrhythm Brewing and Snake Lake Brewing.
Love Snake Lake.
Both from Alberta. It's Speed Cobra New England IPA. Any musicians out there know what a Speed Cobra is.
That sounds cool. Sounds like a fast car.
It's a double kick.
Oh, you're talking about the Iron Cobra pedals.
Literally the pedals, yeah. That's what they named it after.
That's really cool.
Yeah, they're like heavy musicians at Polyrhythm, right? So
that's really fucking Polyrhythms, you're speaking my language now.
Yeah. You gotta go visit them, man.
Musicians, I tell you.
Dude.
So, like we were talking about, we're going to be talking about the top 5 sports games that we really liked playing growing up.
Yeah, or that we loved beating the shit out of our younger siblings, or in my case, I was the younger sibling, so I had my ass handed to me all the time.
Did you want to start off?
Yes, and my honorable mention is it's just like every list should be, it's a personal one for me.
Okay.
It's the very first golf game that came out on Super Nintendo.
Oh my god.
It was Hal's Hole-in-One Golf. Now,
Not
hear me
Hal's
out.
Hole-in-One Golf.
Yes. Absolutely yes.
Why would that make your list?
Because my mom and I used to play this every
so
single morning before
value.
she went to work and I went to school.
Okay.
We could bust it, and she got a hole-in-one in this before I did. That was some bullshit. It literally had one course, and it was overhead. You never saw your golfer, right? You just saw the ball moving in it. It was
kind of like Nest
Open. You know what's
Open.
funny though? Like at the end of the day, name a better golf game on the Super Nintendo. Try.
Waialae Golf
No,
Country
they're
Club?
terrible. They're
I'm just
it literally
kidding.
draws one palm tree at a time. It was
terrible.
like watching a 386 computer try to.
I honestly couldn't even think of another one other than Nest Open for Nintendo.
Yeah. But like all the shading made it actually look 3D. It was kind of cool.
Okay.
You had a password system for like if you had a great shot, you could save the password and then send it to your friends and be like, look at my shot.
Really? So they could like play it back on their Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it had like a replay system essentially. And I came home from school one day and my mom only worked half a day that day. And she snuck in a game, and I came home and on the Super Nintendo was a note, like a Post-it note stuck to it with a password for her hole-in-one, and I was like, you fucker. So,
damn you, Mom.
Yeah, and then there was also, if you could play Hal in it, and if you beat Hal, it gave you the passcode for using metal woods to get like an extra 20 yards out of it.
Why does this remind me of like the Simpsons episode where Bart wished he had like that Mortal Kombat knockoff, but he got like the golf game instead?
Lee Carvalho's putting challenge or something like that? I think that's it, actually. I think that's the name of the game. Yeah.
Anyway, that's
my honorable mention.
Good. Well, my honorable mention might be a little bit more popular. It's Mutant League Football.
That's your honorable?
That's my honorable mention.
Damn.
Made by EA 93. I mean, listen, there's landmines, fire pits, craters. You can play on ice, rock, rubber, and toxic waste. That would make for an actually pretty good football game.
For anybody that didn't, but maybe played, like a 16-bit Madden, it was Madden with extra shit.
Yeah.
Like it played kind of the same animation, same play style, same like Mutant League Hockey, right? It literally looked like NHL 94, but with like way more fun.
You can die during the run of the play in this. Like there's exploding balls. Insert your joke there. There's electric shocks, jetpacks. There's a lot of quirkiness to the game. You can kill the quarterback. Like that's cool. Kill the quarterback before anything goes down.
Yeah.
You can bribe the ref. Like hell, you can kill the ref if you want. And if you do, the ref gets replaced by a more difficult referee after that. So you really gotta think through it. You can pick as troll. You can be trolls, aliens, skeletons, robots, superhumans. It's 7 versus 7. They have like funny names like Bones Jackson, LT Impaler, Scary Ice. You know,
Bones Jackson.
Yeah, but anyway, that's my honorable mention. It was a lot of fun.
Good wordplay there, for sure.
Do you want to hear my number 5?
Yes.
And you know what it's gonna be. It's NHL 96, and it's NHL 99.
We have to fucking shotgun.
No way.
My number 5 is NHL 96.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh no.
This is bad.
So for the record, it's 10:30 in the morning. Shall we?
I don't know if I can do this right now.
I mean, it's right there.
All right.
How about we just have to finish these?
Let's just finish these, and then I'm gonna need a big burp before we continue here.
Son of a bitch.
God damn it. Okay.
All right. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Dude. Oh, that's cold.
You have me beat.
Oh, it's so cold.
I can't do it.
Oh my god, my fucking throat.
I tip my hat to you. I've never been beaten before.
It was way too.
It
was so cold.
Lauren, you dethroned me.
We're just coming out of the ass end of a deep freeze here in Edmonton, and it's
almost cold as
everybody's
outside.
Like beer fridge in their garages.
Yeah,
were unplugged for their safety. So all the beer's a little too cold right now.
But it's like, I really don't think I need to explain why NHL 96, you know, in my opinion, the best one of the bunch.
Agreed. That's why I put it.
Like, it's just...
Well, and did you even play 97 or 98?
Yeah,
like
but I
didn't.
I didn't like them because at that point, 3D was out.
Yeah.
Like, and the 3D hockey...
Well, and the PlayStation intro was just like, holy shit.
Oh my god, it was mind infuriatingly boggling. But then, back to NHL 99, I want to think that this is where Gent came from. Like, music de Gent. Like, I think this is the game that created it, and then whatever metalheads played NHL 99 were like, hey, we need to emulate this. This is the sound.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
But, yeah, like, there's commentators throughout the whole game, which just kind of glues it together and keeps you more focused, and it was just also at that point in 1999 that was like for me the golden age of hockey for me anyway because I was of the age.
Yeah. Know? Well, and, like for me, so 96 was that was when the Avalanche, right?
Yeah. And Dallas was huge.
Yes. The Spinorama was added. That wasn't in 95, right? So you just hit the R button.
Did you still have the quick
one-timer and the quick stop?
Yeah, quick stop.
Quick stop and Spinorama were in 96.
Did you always wrap around the net to get it in?
No,
or did you go right across?
I came the 20 degrees.
Yeah, right
in from the wing and then like
beat the goalie.
Cheating. Fuck, I cheated so hard.
But I can't believe we
but against players,
NHL 96. What the fuck?
Against like human players, that shit don't work, man. Like,
no,
you come in on the angle on me, I'm sticking the goalie right in its plate, like
100%.
I'm taking you out right on the crease. Yeah, 96 was where it kind of peaked for me. 97, 98, I can't even remember ever playing it.
Yeah,
and I'm sure you can go into a used game store and find them for $1 now, but
yeah. This is like the perfected version of all the earlier NHL titles.
I think it was just that's when it peaked. That's when everybody cared the most. My number 4.
Let's hear it.
Do you want to really? Because this is gonna I
have to.
This is gonna open some shit up here.
Okay, let's hear it.
Tom and I disagree on something. I prefer SSX Tricky.
Oh, come on.
So
SSX sucks.
That's my number 4.
But the visuals were good.
I put it for GameCube because that's what I played it on.
But it was released on PlayStation and Xbox as well, right? Like it was all
it was on all of them. Yeah. I think on one of them it was just called SSX3.
Oh,
not Tricky.
Okay,
but I mean the whole reason it was called Tricky is that like constant replaying of the Run DMC song on it. But straight up arcade snowboarding. It was not realistic whatsoever. That's kind of what I loved about it because if I wanted more realistic, I had 1080 snowboarding on N64, which land a trick in that fucking game. Like, you're leaning too far back, you're leaning too far forward, you're leaning too far back.
Or like triple circle, then press A.
God.
Up, down, up.
It was the circle, then the circle and the R button, then the circle and the R button and the B button.
They should have called that 1080.
I've done
tricky.
one.
Yeah.
I've done one 1080 in my life.
Have you ever done the McTwist? That was always my favorite one.
In SSX or?
I guess, yeah, we are talking about technically SSX, not 1080.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about both. Fuck it. But
the McTwist, that was the coolest move back then.
I loved like the 2-player racing in 1080.
Yeah.
SSX was where it was for like stupid, crazy, over-the-top Tony Hawk style tricks, you know? I was always Moby Jones, but there was 12 different characters you could pick.
Is that the guy with the afro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just you had like uber moves if you built up your bar, then and if you kept doing uber moves, then you maintained your bar, and
I remember this game being pretty hot. Tricky. Like they had good commercials and publicity for this game.
It was super fun, man.
Yeah,
super fun. And then like if you spelt out tricky, then you got like unlimited boost, and you just went fucking crazy across the entire mountain. But yeah, it was like, I don't know, the NBA Jam of snowboarding games.
Talking about NBA, my number 4 is NBA Live 96.
Segue.
You know, like released in 95, but that's how it was back then. They released a year before, and then they just slapped the date on, you know.
Yeah.
But
like a new car.
Again, I shouldn't have to go into full detail about this one, but it's in 96, that was the height of basketball. That was like your Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan. You had your
Penny Hardaway.
Yeah, man. And
the Magic, man. The Magic was
just every single
the
team.
Bulls 96 was crazy.
Everybody wanted Magic to win, man. Literally.
Yeah, because the Bulls were the perfect team that year, right? So,
like,
well,
I don't think I should have to really
what an
go
era.
into this, but like the controversy between Malone and Dennis Rodman back then, like just the height of basketball,
I mean, like,
shenanigans.
I know Rodman's
the dunks that
crazy,
came out in the 90s.
Who the fuck would get in Malone's face, man? Like that man was huge.
Yeah. Like the dunk competition started to come out more often, so that was like it just created like a really popular craze, you know.
You kind of started seeing the build up to the like Vinsanity, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Like that was 2000, but in 95, 96, you started seeing where the game was going. Like Penny Hardaway was my favorite by far because he was bringing this new edge to, you know.
Like, hell, you can make the shitty Vancouver Grizzlies #1 in this in season mode if you wanted to. Play as Big Country and just dunk your way to victory.
Reeves. Bryant, get a haircut, Reeves.
Yeah, man. And, like, it's just hours and hours of fun. And also, like, the music fucking slaps in the menu for this one. I'll include it in here, but like I always do. But, yeah, anyway, that's my number 4.
Beauty. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is the entire Tecmo Super Bowl series.
Entire series?
Entire Tecmo
NES,
Super Bowl.
Super Nintendo.
I'm talking NES to SNES.
Okay.
Like, again, this is cheating technically, but if I had to pick one, it'd be between NES's Tecmo Super Bowl and Super Nintendo's Tecmo Super Bowl 3. And it's addictive, fun, and easy to pick up and go football game. Like, you could play this with your grandma.
They are the best football game.
Absolutely. The control mechanics are just so simplified. There's no way for you to be confused as to how to play this game.
Yeah.
And that's, in the end, I think that's what really makes a sports game fun. If you're stuck trying to figure out what the controls are at fast game mechanics, you're not going to have a good time. And you never had that issue with these titles at all.
You're right.
And the cutscenes were awesome. Like, I always loved the cutscenes in Tecmo Super Bowl. Like, you know,
well,
Buddy jumps up and he catches him. Hiya!
The letterboxed like scenes, you know, like almost Ninja Gaiden, which crazy.
Yeah, it's the same fucking developer, man.
Right.
Like, it's the same company. But
yeah, cool, man.
But yeah,
that's a good call.
Like, it's just man. Also, end-to-end passes. Like, if you just run backwards as a quarterback and you just wait for your fucking running backs to make it to the end zone and just deep dive that pass, you could have like an end zone to end zone fucking play.
Oh yeah,
like 100-yard pass.
Yeah,
and then like piss off your brother or whoever the hell you're playing against.
For sure. No, that's a good call.
That's my number 3, just because of the simplicity of how much fun it was to play this game and how simple it was.
Yeah. Like, honestly, some of the best sports games are the simple ones.
Yeah.
And repeatable, right? You can play them over and over and over.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if you hate a game just because of the controls and it's stated as like the greatest sports game, it's not a great sports game.
Speaking of that,
yeah,
I have a simple, fun game for my number 3 that you're gonna shit on.
Oh God.
It's for the NES. It is Dusty Diamond's All-Star Softball.
Oh, you brought this one up before.
So I bring this up because me and my childhood best friend Scott Heaton, we played this over an entire Christmas break one year. What makes this game so much cooler is you can either do slow pitch, where you're out if you foul on the third, or you can do fast pitch.
But you can have interesting fields in this game too.
So there's 6 different fields. Boy,
it was 7, I think.
Maybe 7.
Time.
Like the last one is the Major League Park or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's 6 regular, whatever you want to call. So like there's the schoolyard, there's the beach, there's whatever, the playground, and they all have different aesthetics, but it's essentially the same field. It's a palette swap of color.
Yeah.
What makes this game so cool is you do like schoolyard style selection. So you have like the
pick me,
the main screen of like whatever it is, 64
I hope
players.
I don't get picked last.
And you have to pick 10, or is it 11? I can't remember. It might be 11, because you can pick like one spare player or whatever.
It's kind of like ice hockey,
but you
right?
have
like
no
where you
idea.
Pick, like the skinny, the big guy, or
kind
the
of. But instead of 4
guy.
people, where you know their traits,
yeah,
you have 60 some odd people where you have no fucking idea what their traits are.
Oh, it's a gamble.
So, like, there's a witch named Zelda, and you pick her, and it turns out she swings a broom for a baseball bat. She has random, insane power. And then there's this whatever the other guy, like he's like a red demon. He's so fast around the bases that you could steal bases and you can't get picked off, right? You just don't know what everybody's traits are until you pick them and play with them, and that's what made it so fun. Like we played it for 2 weeks straight, and like wrote down all the stats for each player, like which one was fast, which one was a heavy hitter.
You knew for next time.
Which one had a crazy arm in the outfield? Like,
would it be like randomly generated every time, or once you kind of
no? Once you knew the character, you knew the character.
Okay.
So then
That's
it became
cool.
like because you pick your
you
players.
Knew who you'd pick.
You pick your players one by one, right? So
yeah.
So you were like, oh no, you asshole, you took the heavy hitter. Okay, well I'm gonna take the fast guy, right? And then you can pick the guy who has the fastest fast pitch, and so on and so forth, right? It was way too fun a game, way too fun. Dusty Diamond's All-Star Softball.
That's a good pick. I wouldn't shit on that one.
Clearly I know there's like Baseball Stars, a little bit less bases loaded. Like there are good baseball games on the NES, but this one's by far my favorite.
Yeah.
And that's why it's on the list.
That's a good pick.
Number 2.
Okay.
I have a soccer game.
Hold on. It's not going to be any kind of generic soccer game, is it?
Probably not.
It's Mega Man Soccer.
How'd you fucking know? Mega Man Soccer.
Because that's a
March
fun
1994. Game. Oh, what?
So much fun.
Imagine taking Mega Man Robot Master theory and applying it to a soccer game. There's 8 teams, all with Robot Masters. If you beat that team, you get to take their star from that team and put it on your own team.
Yeah, man.
And awesome game.
The super goals.
And then there's literally a Wily stages of teams after the 8. You beat all 8 teams and you take all their Robot Masters and you have this loaded team.
Classic Mega Man music.
Yeah. And then you have to fight literally the Wily team after that. And you can
The super goals are awesome though. Depending what character you are, if you go up to a net and you're all charged up, you can do your goal attack.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
Because
it's reflects off the Mega Man series.
25 years later, Mario Strikers essentially took this this setup, and applied it to their Mario Strikers games. It's the same damn game. I love this game. It's way too fun.
It is a lot of fun.
This might even make a top 5 list in my 5 favorite Mega Man games.
It should, because why wouldn't it? That's so much. It's the first and only Mega Man game that is 2 players.
It's ridiculously fun.
Yeah, man. That's a great pick.
It had to be in my list.
That's a good pick, man.
Your number 2, sir.
My number 2 is Nagano Winter Olympics 98.
I figured eventually an Olympic game would be on there. I just didn't know if it was going to be number 1.
It's there's a very good reason this game kicks ass. Konami. That's why. Konami has had so much experience with Olympic games that By the time N64 came out, they knew what the fuck they were doing, and if they wanted to make some cash, it was a no-brainer. Like, it's 4-player insanity. Having 4 players in this, at first, nobody wants to play this, right? But then once, like, you get to pick, once you get to pick, like, your country, it's like, oh, my country will beat your country, and just, it becomes 4-player loudness, chaos, competitiveness, and it's just like I said, at first, nobody's going to want to touch this.
If you could find 4 players that actually wanted to play this, it was a great time.
Yeah, man.
But that was it was an uphill climb getting 4 people.
It was definitely, you were like, come on, you got to try this. I don't know, man. I have to learn
Can we just play
controls
GoldenEye? Yeah, can we? I get it.
Yeah, but that's my number 2, just because 4 players, and at the height of N64 in 98 when this came out, it was this, GoldenEye, wrestling games, or hockey games. That was what you were doing. Like, Mario Kart, sure, but like after a while, you're kind of done with Mario Kart, you know?
Yeah.
And then Mario Party,
and your friendships are done, and right?
Yeah, Mario Party, your friendships are done, and you kind of wanted to keep those striving back then.
Yeah, so it was more like you need to quit just to maintain healthy relationships, right?
Yeah, and I just. Again, Konami had like 20 plus years of experience at this point making Olympic games.
OG. They made the OG track and field.
And like even like going before the original Nintendo Konami games, like they had these in arcade cabinets.
Yeah.
Like the cocktail.
I was at Arcadium just last night.
So much fun.
And this was sitting on the floor. I walked right by it, track and field.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 2.
Great one.
Do you want to know what my number 1 is?
Overall number 1, give it to me.
Fuck SSX and fuck 1080. I'm talking about Amped.
Amped.
November 20, 2001 snowboarding game when it came out. It beat the PlayStation X games, Transworld Snowboarding.
Cool Borders.
Cool Borders.
Which, they were fun, but they were shit.
They were gigantic fucking smooth mountains. It was the first time that something on a TV would populate in front of you, and it was a huge mountain where it was free roam. You could go wherever you want. That didn't exist yet at that point. So when that came out and the hype that came out behind it, we were all looking forward to it. Plus like 150 like punk rock ska songs, which was like really in back in 2001. Like,
oh yeah,
say whatever you want about ska now, but
that was
back
like
then it was
the height of pop punk and like the third wave of ska, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, man, you can hit that smooth pow, you can jib those rails. Use whatever kind of lingo they did back then, which has no fucking connotation nowadays, but it was just a really fucking fun, epic game.
Stoked.
Yeah, I was so stoked,
You're so fucking stoked to play that.
Yo, that was so gnar.
Fuck. Gnar pow.
Gnar pow, bruh. Are you high? No, that's how we talk.
Fucking aren't you? Oh, man.
How about you?
So
what's your number 1?
And I wanted to bug it, like, now, because... Yes, Amp was the better game. Yes, I fully admit it.
Yeah, man.
And yet, we were talking about this. You haven't even dipped into Steep or Riders Republic. Like, Riders Republic...
I've never heard of it.
It is you, man. That game is you.
So I have to try
on
this
a
out.
disc.
Okay.
Riders Republic. It's all online. You can do snowboarding. You can do skiing. You can two-plank if you want to be a loser. You can you can snowboard. You can mountain bike, you can downhill, you can BMX, you can wingsuit.
Jesus.
You can
it's like an X Games.
Like the air suit with like the prop or whatever on your back.
Yeah.
You can do that. You can, oh man, there's so much to do in this game. And it's a massive mountain.
Okay.
It is like they combined like Yosemite and like the Grand Tetons and all that stuff into one like imaginary mountain range.
Okay, cool.
And you can fast travel anywhere you want. This game is...
Do you know how long generally it would take you from top to bottom?
Like if you actually let's just say snowboarded, and then when you got to the flatlands, like you jumped on a skidoo or something to get up. God, half an hour?
Wow.
45 minutes? It's massive.
That is massive.
Absolutely massive. You gotta play it.
I'll have to check it out.
You have to play it, man. My number 1.
Let's hear this.
Is I probably put more time into this game than most of this list combined. When the N64 first came out, I rented this so many times in a row until I finally bought it.
Ken Griffey's Slugfest?
I'm talking about Wave Race 64.
Wave Race 64. I was way off. That's a good game.
If we're only going to talk about one thing from this game, like never mind like the trick system, which was super cool, like the pushing one direction and then flipping the other direction immediately to get like a barrel roll or backflip. The controls
are super tight.
To submarine and like the submarining was part of like cutting some of the level off, like when you were racing and no, if anything, the water physics, man.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
They were ahead of the time back then.
And then you could you could practice one course, but you could change the weather from like 1, which was like glass nothing, to 5, which was like force 10 gale.
And there's no slowdown.
Which is awesome. I mean, it only ran at 10 frames per second anyway. But it looked, at the time, we were just like, holy piss, look at this. Look at the water. Look at the...
come to think of it, I think when we rented an N64, we rented that with the N64 with Mario.
Like whatever the lake one, Mirror Lake.
Yeah.
When it was reflecting you off I was like, this is the future of gaming. Like this isn't the now. Like
it's like water has been done like better since, but it's like
but that was the first time that it was done well.
That much better,
that was the first time water was done well.
Yeah,
and just blew my mind. Like the Mirror Lake was holy shit. It blew my mind.
Was it the same developers as 1080 Snowboarding?
Yes.
Okay.
It's EAD.
Okay.
Like Nintendo EAD, right?
Yeah.
But like that Mirror Lake, it started off foggy. The first couple laps, right? And then
that's right.
The third lap, the fog went away, and you saw the mirror in the water, and you're just like, wow.
Yeah.
Blew my mind.
Fucking mind boggled.
Love it. The pretty sure Ricky Winterborn was just, instead of being on a snowboard, he was on a, and then the fat dude.
Yeah,
Jeter or whatever.
I forget. I think I know what you're
talking. The fat dude was the way to go, man. Because once he got going, he was fast, man. He was the best. And then you could even move your bars from a little more acceleration to a little more top end, and a little more cornering to being able to glide on top of the water better. So you could fuck with the physics in the game a little bit. It was such an awesome game, man.
Yeah, and it was revolutionary when it came out.
Yes,
for all those reasons, man.
Just like when Super Nintendo first came out, and the Pilot Wings was a tech demo.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Wave Race started off as a tech demo just to be look what we can do with water physics. And then they were like, hey, there's a game here. And what a game.
That's how good games get found out, man.
I recently played it on a Sunday afternoon, and I beat the whole game in 4 hours. I was like, oh, okay, there's less game here than I thought, but it still has a massive spot in my heart. So
good.
That's my number 1.
Well, thanks for tuning in to another list, everybody. It was always a grand time to jabber on and let you guys know how we feel about games of our past and future and present.
Yeah, in honor of you and I having the same pick at the same spot for the first time ever, we still shit talk each other about the other snowboarding games. So
we still do.
What do you guys think? What would you have as your number 1 overall? Let us know in the comments. But hopefully we see you again real soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.